Hey, welcome to How to in a Few, or quite possibly it's Lynn Dan's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to cook crabs, Louisiana style. I'm going to give you all of my secrets and how I make what I consider to be the best crabs. I spent about 10 years not eating crabs because they're so hard to peel. And if they don't taste good, then it doesn't make it worth it. Well, I never realized that people just don't know how to cook crabs, so I developed a technique to cook crabs, which I think makes them absolutely delicious, and oh my god, they are worth peeling. And the more you peel, the quicker you get. And I can tell you that if on a day that I'm really hungry, I can put away a whole dozen crabs easy. And my mound of crab peelings is much higher than anybody else that's around me. But today I'm going to show you some of those secrets, and the first secret is that I use King Cooker products. They really should be sponsoring me. Now you might have a circular pot that you boil on, and King Cooker makes those too, and I have some of those too, and those are just great. But considering how much we boil crawfish, shrimp, and crabs down here, I decided to go ahead and purchase a little bit more expensive model to cook the seafood that we cook. Now it's quickly filling up with water. Yes, it's from the hose, but we're on a well, so you might as well just consider this being spring water being put in there. So King Cooker is the burner and pots that I use, and then for crabs I use Zatarain's seafood boil. I'm gonna have to go ahead and take this hose out because we're quickly getting to the level that I need. But Zatarain's is slightly saltier than some of the other brands. For crawfish I have a different brand that I like to use. It's called Cajunland. But Zatarain's, due to the extra saltiness, is really good for crabs, and they are getting all excited down below here. Now here's my secret. I put the Zatarain's in, and no, you're only supposed to boil crabs alive. But by putting the seasoning in there, now I'm going to put the crabs in there. I've mixed up the seasoning. I'm going to dump my crabs, and my crabs are still alive. You're only supposed to boil crabs that are live. That's about 50 crabs. So there's about 50 crabs. They're pretty lively. The water's cold. It's not boiling yet. But as they breathe the water through their gills, they are pumping in those spices all into their bodies, and even into the internal organ areas that will end up absorbing that spice a lot quicker than just letting them soak. Now that's not to say I'm not going to let them soak after I'm finished boiling them, but this is the secret that really gets my crabs spicier and tastier than most of other people's crabs. Alright, so the crabs have been soaking in here for about 15 minutes or so. Believe it or not, they're still alive. They don't mind sucking in all that spice. In the meantime, we've cut some crabs. We've cut potatoes, not crabs. Cut these into like threes. These are regular russet potatoes. A lot of people like to use the red potatoes, but by cutting them in threes, it shortens down the cooking time. And a couple of onions we added to it too. We leave the peels on. They cook through, and you just peel out the middle or take out the pieces to eat them. Not that many in here because we just boiled 4 or 5 days ago. We still have some left from a previous boil, so I just wanted to show you that we would put this in. We would also usually put in sausage if we have it, but we still have some sausage left from a couple days ago too, so I may add that sausage back in at the end just to kind of heat it up again. I'm not going to put the potatoes back in that we have left because those will break apart and crumble. Now, the next secret to crab boiling is that the potatoes will tell you when it's done. There are times available and published for how long you should cook crabs, but when your potatoes are done, your crabs will be done too. And if you pull them out earlier, then you end up with potatoes that are not done and are not going to taste good. So let the potatoes be your guide as to when the boil is done. Alright, time to fire it up. Due to the safety regulator, we're going to open the propane tank first. This is a dual burner, so we'll light the one on this side first by turning on the regulator. Then we'll walk to the other side. Both burners are on. Go ahead and turn them on full blast. Close our lid. And the next time we'll check this, we'll see steam coming off. That'll tell us that it's boiling. And then we can check the potatoes. Alright, it looks like we're just about to start boiling, so let's go ahead and take a look. We simply need to find one and pull it up. Then take a knife, stick it in. It should easily go in. The fact that this one doesn't tells me that we need more time. Alright, it's starting to get a little rain out here. Go ahead and try these potatoes again. Remember I told you the key is the potatoes. The crabs are probably already done. Alright, potatoes are just about done, so we're going to go ahead and turn it off. Let me check the onion. I can look at the onion and tell. Like, yeah, onion looks good already too. I turned the regulator off first, and then I'm closing the propane bottle. We are getting a little bit of rain here. Not anything bad, but essentially now our crabs are done. Give them a quick stir. They're still going to soak, even though you can tell the water is not quite as red as it was when we started this. A lot of that spice has been soaked up by the crabs. We're going to give them about another 20 minutes soak time just to make sure that they absorb more of the spice. Normally I would put cold water in here and fill it up so that it sinks. That's another little trick. By having it sink, it'll absorb more. But since the potatoes could cook a little bit longer, we're going to go ahead and leave it hot for about 20 minutes, and then we'll start pulling them out. Alright, the crabs have been soaking for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and dump them onto the lid of this King cooker. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and tray these up on trays that we already have. And one important thing that we're going to do is turn all the crabs over on their back. What that's going to do is cause the juices to stay inside the shell and marinate the meat before we eat them so that it doesn't all leak out. So there, I've given you just about all of my cooking crab secrets. And hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up on the video. You might be watching this on Lynn and Dan's Kitchen, which is where we cook foods. We have some other recipes on there that we show. Usually we're wearing a lot nicer clothes than this, some white chef apparel, etc. And usually we tell a little history about the food. I'm going to go ahead and put this video on both websites. The cooking website, which I should provide some kind of link if you want to click and check that out. I'll appreciate you subscribing or liking the videos there, and of course subscribing or liking the videos here too on the how-to channel. Or if you happen to be on Lynn and Dan, you can check out the how-to channel and subscribe and like the videos there. Either way, I'm just glad that you're watching the video to this point and hopefully giving me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.